What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Hangout edition of Learn Crypto. Today I have Josiah Spackman back, one of your guys' favorites. He is the DigiByte New Zealand ambassador. Once again, guys, these are not near as professional as some of the other interviews. If you want an actual in-depth look and a serious interview with Josiah about DigiByte, make sure to check that out. That is on our YouTube homepage in the interview section. What's going on, Josiah?
Hey, man. Did you just call me not professional?
Just these hangouts.
Yeah, man. No, it's cool. I'm finally getting settled into the new place and things. It's great, man. It's great to be on your show again, and thanks for having me. And it's always good to spitball a few ideas, talk a little bit of smack, and
exactly. This is just something different for the viewers too. I know they like the last one. Just sees me come a little out of my shell. You get to come a little out of your shell because you're not just talking about DigiByte, so it's fun. But
yeah, well, hang on. Before we go, so based on that last one, we need to both.
Yeah, no, I need to have my sunglasses here. Apparently we had too much fun last time, and people were asking if we were drunk and high and all kinds of stuff. I just got home from work, and I know Josiah's probably just waking up because of the time difference. So no, we are sober. We just, we're high on cryptos. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So before we get started on just random stuff, is there any new updates with DigiByte? I know you guys are working on Digi-ID. Has there made any progress with Digi-ID or anything like that? Yeah, well,
actually, that's probably a good – I'll tell you what. Why don't I'll bring up the website here for you. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can do this and make it look professional. Hang on. Let's try and bring this up. So this is what we've got at the moment, our website here that we have for Digi-ID. So – it's probably worth me being upfront and saying, we're not going to be launching, the Android apps, they're not coming with this. So that's totally cool. So, hang on, what I will do is actually, give me 1 second. We've got a logo as well that would be really cool just to kind of show off as well. Somewhere. Where's the logo going? Yeah, super organized.
And guys, if you participated in the acrylic Litecoin giveaway that we did do, Josiah did provide vector files for DigiByte as well, so we will be making some DigiByte ones as well. So make sure to keep tuning in, and we'll give those away. Keep spreading the word of cryptos and giving guys some souvenirs on some of our favorite coins here at Learn Crypto.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So with this, the Android apps aren't basically going to be launching at this particular time. So, I mean, it's still cool. We kind of liken it to the... If you know anything about the Android Alliance, I think they were the Android Open Handset Alliance or something like that, where Google basically announced beforehand, they're like, look, Android's coming. How cool is this going to be, right? And so that's kind of what we're looking to do with this as well. So this is going to be some really cool stuff for us to show people that blockchain isn't just about payments. It's not just about me sending you money, although it's great when I send you money. It's even better when you send me money. But so the idea behind this, right, is so we're going to have a few little basics on the website. We're going to have a video and things, and so we wanted to try and recruit some additional developers to help us finish the Android and the iOS apps. So this is coming, and we're going to have some cool stuff at the launch of this. It's basically, think of this more of like a website launch rather than we're launching an ICO, for example, right?
So when this says prepare for launch in 6 days, does that mean the actual product is going to be available, or just kind of the website launch with beta, or what's going to be integrated there?
So this is going to be the website launch, and we've already. So you're in the beta test for iOS, right?
Yep. And if you guys did not see that video, go ahead and check that video out, where I actually went over the beta version of the new DigiByte wallet using my iOS. Put together a nice little video, kind of showing how easy it is. So hopefully that is available for you guys shortly, and that might have been used in part of the application process to Apple as well. Yeah,
so with this, basically, we're going to be getting we're going to be making it easier for people to try and to integrate and to tie in Digi-ID. We'll explain it a little bit, what it means, who it's for, and all of that sort of jazz. So what we're looking at doing as well is getting some forums where you can even go and try out Digi-ID using your wallet and things yourself. So if you have been a part of our Android or our iOS beta, then that's a mouthful, man.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't even been having any beersies or anything
See, this is why people are asking if we're high or drunk. This is the reason right here.
This is what's coming. And so we're really excited about it, but I also at the same time I want to kind of like, I don't want people to think that this is going to be like an ICO launch and things like that, right? So we're launching the website and some supporting documents and information. We're going to have a really cool video and things that's going to be there as well to introduce people to Digi-ID, why it's cool. And we just want to show people that you can use the blockchain for more than just payments. Yep. So part of DigiByte, I guess, is even from the beginning, in our Genesis block, Jared hashed in there some details about, I think it was like 110 million customers' data was stolen. And so that's been basically like our core ever since the beginning is security. Mm-hmm. And so Digi-ID is going to show people you can use the blockchain for more than just the payments. And security is going to be a really big part of this. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
I think I've seen you have like a quick video out there that maybe DigiByte retweeted or something, just kind of showing how it works, logging into a couple websites. So if you guys don't follow DigiByte over on Twitter, I would just check that out to keep up to date with what they got going on over there.
Yeah, so we were actually spending the morning having a really good chat about it and how things are going. And so part of the foundation is we've got like a bunch of people, and it's not just the people that are on the website. And so I always feel bad about that, because if you look on the website, right, like there's half a dozen of us. That's cool and all, but there's so many more people that are helping us out, like behind the scenes with like our graphic design, and we've got like specific Android developers and things, iOS developers. We've got a whole bunch of people working on translations. So yeah, I guess it's kind of good just to kind of clear the air there, I suppose, as well. But at the same time, like, website looks cool. I like it. So.
It looks cool. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But it's been good. Like, it's been keeping us busy as well. And so we've got some I'm excited to see the security side of this come out more, I suppose, is the best way of wording this, right? Like, because in so many blockchains and things like that, that's all that they focus on. So if you have a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's either a store of value or it's for payments, right?
Yeah.
Like, what else do you use Bitcoin for?
That's really it, yeah.
That's pretty much it. And same for, I mean, you look at Litecoin and everyone's like, Litecoin is for transactions. And you know how I feel about Litecoin. So I'll spare the speech and things.
Spare the viewers, all right? We like Litecoin over here. A lot of our clients hold some Litecoin. You know, obviously for investment issues, investment reasons, it's still the institutional money has a good opportunity to go to Litecoin just because it is on Coinbase, this and that. So
Litecoin is for payments though, right?
That's true.
So we want to show people that you can use it for more than just payments. We want to show them about the security and a whole bunch of other things, document notarization, stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I say that all the time. I'm excited. I'm freaking excited about everything, man. I mean, that's probably why we both sound like we're high on crypto, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just something I preach to the community as well. Is, you know, there's a lot of coins in the public sector and privacy sector for just currencies. And it's interesting that I like the coins that are either building platforms or products that can utilize that crypto token or crypto coin to create some value propositions. You guys are starting to do Digi-ID and some of the other stuff you're working on. Zen, for example, has like 3 or 4 different pillars and products they're trying to create. And I like a lot of the coins that are trying to create products that utilize their token or that are going to be built by their developers to maybe enhance that coin's ecosystem and give a reason for people to use that versus some of these other just generic public sector currencies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll just nod. Like, I got nothing more to add. Yeah. You summed it up really well, right? Like,
So I know last time we were talking about this mysterious private partnership of Verge, and it got announced that, hey, they're on Pornhub, baby. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have any more Verge. I had too much fun.
Game.
Now, the price action obviously dumped right after that news. It's starting to firm up now. My opinion on that partnership is it's nothing really too special for Verge. I think it does help the crypto ecosystem as a whole, possibly just because more people are going to see Verge and see cryptos, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But definitely not a game changer, best partnership in the world. It's a payment solution for not an illegal sector, but just kind of like a frowned upon vice, really. So,
well, okay, I mean, so the only reason why you would want to pay with Verge for Pornhub basically is if you're a dude and you don't want your missus to know about it, right? Like, that's the only reason. if someone else has access to your credit card statement and they can see, right? Like, that's basically it. Like, how many people give a shit about that?
Most people just throw it on the debit card anyways. And usually a lot of those, I mean, I don't sports gamble or anything, but usually they don't put their website on your statement. They make up some website and it'll say pets.com on my statement instead of a different sports gambling website anyways. They do kind of their own cryptography on those payments, as if you will. So,
yeah.
But nonetheless, it's a partnership. I just didn't like how they needed to raise so much funds for it, how they were kind of keeping it secret. They said they were doing a partnership, and then they said, which partnership should we pick? You know, that was kind of iffy for me, but it's all worked out now. Hopefully you guys sold before the dump, or you're still holding now and it can work out here in the future. And that's about all I got to say on that.
So, cause that's like a really good one, right? Like they were talking about it and they're like, we have this most amazing partnership. It's coming. It's going to change the game. And everyone's like, okay, cool. And then they're like, which partnership should we pick? We have so many.
Yeah, that was what was weird. I was like,
wait a second.
You asked us to donate $7.5 million for that?
No, why? Why do you need so much money to, like, generally, if it's a partnership, like, if you and I were going to say, right, what we'll do, so did you see that Medium post that I did, like, earlier in the week?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, let's try the screen share stuff out again, and I will bring this up, right? Because this was interesting. Let's talk about partnerships. Where the hell is it? It's here somewhere. There we go. All right. Is that working?
There it goes.
Okay. So I wrote this earlier in the week. This is really quite interesting. We have a lot of people that kind of contact us being part of the foundations. I mean, I'm sure you probably get the same thing, right?
Yep.
Running the YouTube channel and stuff like that. But most of the time, if you're going to be contacted by somebody, they'll contact you and they'll say, we basically, we're interested in doing like a paid review or something like that. It's a little bit different for us, obviously, because we're like, why would we review someone else's stuff? Like, it's not kind of the foundation's niche, I suppose.
Yeah. And we don't, and here, at least with our channel, we like to have like a hype averse community. So we don't really even pay attention to those. Hey, do a paid review. It's like, if the community wants it, I'll do an actual real review. I don't want to have to feel like I have to be biased because you're giving me money.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, and we did that Electrocoin review, which I raised some red flags, but then they did an interview and they got to, you know, tell their side of the story. And some of their community members donated a bunch of ECA to my Discord wallet. And we just went on the live shows and gave it all away. You know, we just want people to know that we're not doing it for that reason. And it gives us something to give away, get us some more subscribers, some more viewers, whatever. Yeah, everybody has a good time. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can be honest as well, and you don't have to worry about, you've got the whole kind of, if I say something a little bit iffy, right?
Exactly.
So, but I mean, we it was really interesting for us, right? So we're contacted by these people, and I talk a little bit about exchanges and stuff like that. That's interesting. But if we come down here, what does this have to do with anything? So the DigiByte Foundation was recently contacted by a company wanting to partner with us.
You guys are probably excited at first. I did not hear about any of this.
Okay. Anyway, so I go into it down here, right? And basically, like, long story short, there's no pictures on this one as well. It's really very
professional.
This is me just like smashing away on the keyboard going, I can't believe these people do this stuff, right? Like, so anyway, so a partnership, like we're saying with the whole Verge and stuff like that, a partnership is usually, let's say we were to partner with Learn Crypto, we would, you know, there would probably be a sort of a symbiotic relationship where we benefit from it and you benefit from it. That's generally how partnerships work.
Yep.
So for the Verge, their partnership with Pornhub is basically, we pay you a buttload of money, and then you take more money from our users to use your service.
Because people were like, oh, it probably took money to integrate, to create a payment channel on their website. It's like, I'm sure a couple of devs can put that together in a couple of days, and it's not going to cost very much money at all. Definitely not $7.5 million.
Like, so if you were to hire somebody externally, like, I would be genuinely surprised if it cost $10,000 to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, so we're quite lucky. We've got some really good developers and stuff that are help. Like, we have some freaking amazing developers, but even a normal kind of developer who's not super skilled or experienced could still do that sort of like integration stuff. And anyway, so what we did with this, right? Like, this is funny. These people contact us and they're like, we want to do a partnership. Okay, cool. What's this partnership involved? We want you to use DigiByte on our platform. Okay, that's cool.
Sure.
That sounds fair enough. So what do you need from us? Well, we need you to develop stuff. We need development hours, and so we'll even pay for that development hours, but we want you to integrate in our product. Okay, I mean, that sounds fair. Like, we'll go and we'll ask the developers, because obviously, like, so they donate their time and things like that. So we don't really want to go and like commit their time and say, hey man, we've got you doing this for the next 6 weeks. And they go, well, actually, I'm not really interested. So we went to them. And we're like, this particular, I don't actually name it on the website or anything, but I'm sure people will put 2 and 2 together. So we talk about it, and we say to the developers, are you interested? Yeah, sure, why not? Well, let's look into it a little bit more. So we do, and we start talking to them, and they're like, actually, we've got most of the code already done. Oh, okay, that's cool. So how much work is it actually going to be? Well, there's probably not a lot actually for you guys to do. And we're going, hang on a minute. What?
Yeah.
You wanna give us a whole lot of money, right? Like, now instead of like, so we requested that they would pay our developers in DigiByte. Turns out they've got an ICO that they're wanting to launch, and they wanted to give us those tokens. And so we're going, hang on a minute here. Wait a second. So it was funny, man. Like, we basically, that didn't last too long. We're like, how are they going to integrate with the wallet? Like, how have your developers already integrated with our wallet? We don't know. You what? You don't know?
Now, do you want to name that company, or are we just keeping that anonymous? You're not trying to say anything?
We'll keep it anonymous, but anybody who's seen some recent Twitter posts, so the interesting thing, right, these guys, they did this announcement. They announced that they were partnering with us while we're still talking back and forth with us.
Trying to figure out what's going to be the deal.
Yeah, like what's like, we hadn't even said yes, basically, and they're like, okay, what if let's tweet this out? And we're like, actually, we don't think you should tweet that out. And they're like, we're tweeting it anyway.
I'm going to have to do some digging, try to figure that out.
And they come back. It's so funny, man.
If anybody watching this has an idea, leave it in the comments section below, of course.
Do it.
We'll let them do the tattling.
All right, so here's the interesting thing. They did this on 2 other blockchains.
Really?
See if your viewers can find those 2 other blockchains. I might actually mention it in the Medium post. Damn, that's going to kill that. That could have been fun.
Well, yeah, because you just ruined it. Nobody was going to read all that professionalism stuff. There's no pictures. I mean,
it's not professional. It says at the top here, 11 minutes to read this. And I'm like, no one's ever going to read this. Apparently, a lot of people read my rants and my rambling.
There you go.
And so anyway, there's 2 other blockchains, and this particular company also announced partnerships with these 2 other blockchains, and we're kind of going, I wonder if they pulled the same sort of stuff with them as they did with us and them, and like, yeah. is this actually like what? Yeah,
interesting. Well, we'll go to another ICO that apparently isn't going to happen anymore. Telegram canceled their public offering ICO.
What happened with that?
So we talked about it a little bit in the live show, so if you guys already heard this, sorry. But essentially they said that they have raised enough funds at $1.7 billion from the private raises. So they didn't want to do the public one, obviously, which makes kind of sense. But I just think that's going to create a lot of centralization with their token. Obviously, I think in their second raise, they raised like 850 million people, or $850 million, and it was only between 94 people.
Holy
now! You want to talk about centralization? There you go. Not to mention, they have a failed business model. Like, the application is great, but as far as driving revenue, they have a failed traditional business model. By putting on the blockchain, creating a token, and raising $2 billion doesn't mean you're going to know how to make money. I don't understand what they're going to do with all that money.
It's still chat. Like, if you look at, say, for example, Google and even Facebook with your Messenger, it's a loss leader. Like, what do people? There's no ads that pop up inside of Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not how it works. And
essentially, raise all that money. I don't know how they're going to generate revenue. They're going to have the coin. Hopefully, they're probably looking to flip that because there's a bunch of whales in the ecosystem now. And then they're probably going to use that $1.7 billion to be like a venture capitalist to support up-and-coming blockchain companies, I would assume. You know, I mean, try to make money that way.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, so they've got, like, let's round it and say they've got $1 billion, right?
Well, rounding would be $2 billion. They got 1.7. That's crazy.
Man, I'd love a slice of that. Maybe they should partner with us.
That's kind of what I was like. Wait, was this Telegram?
like, what are they going to do with even this? Let's be generous and say $2 billion. What the hell are they going to do with $2 billion?
When they already have a platform created, they're just really integrating their own token and blockchain into the ecosystem, I guess. I have no idea. I mean, that's probably part of the reason they canceled their public ICO because they don't even know what to do with that much money. But I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I don't want to own that token, guys, because that is going to be centralized. There's going to be all kinds of market manipulation, and I do not see a profitability, any kind of revenue stream from that. So you guys do your own research on that. I guess the next topic we can kind of BS about is Bitmain Equihash ASIC miner.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so I'm a miner, obviously. I know a little bit about mining. Hang on, I tell you what, actually, have you seen the photos and stuff of like my mining rigs?
I have not.
I wonder if I can bring this up. Let's see if I can bring this up. Because this could be cool. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, here we go. All right, then. All right, magic screen share. Here we go. I've got to actually click the button. I forgot. I'm sitting here going, why is it not? How if you click the button, Joe? Yeah, good job, mate. Okay. You can see that all right?
Yeah.
I did like a little video walkthrough and stuff of it. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but it's big ass fans and stuff. I got a couple of shelves worth.
Wow, you got a nice little setup over there.
And then the next shelf, there was even more.
Wow. How do you keep how do you keep all that so cool? I don't have that much, and mine is just hot, and it's even in the basement. But I mean, it still stays at good temperature. But my God, you have an AC in the room? You got AC vent or something?
So yeah, I've got an AC there, but also a really big fan. I've kind of changed it as well, the setup, because I learned that this particular setup that you're seeing on the screen there, that's a terrible idea. Don't stack them that high. That was dumb of me.
Yeah, that is silly. Man, my dog is scratching at the door. Let me get this real quick.
All right. So this, while he's away, this is the part where I shill other coins and things.
Like we said, guys, this is just a hangout session. This is nothing professional. We're just chilling. So you're seeing the real us, hanging out, having fun. This is kind of an off day because I'm not having to do the live video, not having to do anything really professional.
It's all right. I was just telling them about how they should go and buy BitConnect while you were not there.
Yeah, that's a really good investment. Probably my number one holding in my portfolio.
Yeah, so like doing that sort of thing, don't stack them up that high. It's not clever.
Yeah, how do you like work on those when they're that tall? Jeez.
Yeah, it wasn't actually like, so that's actually, it's just above head height, like the top part, but basically, so the stuff from the bottom there ends up going up. So you can see in this one, I've got the two fans at the bottom, and so the hot air ends up rising, and so the top ones are always way hotter than the bottom ones.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So anyway, so I know a little bit about mining. Now, do we want to bring up that, have we got that Bitmain link?
Look it up. Yeah, so essentially, guys, Bitmain announced that they're releasing a new ASIC miner to the public, and it is going to be specifically for the Equihash mining algorithm. The reason, I mean, obviously, this is always, I hate to see this. They just tried to do it with Monero. Monero said they were going to do a fork, so it's not going to affect them as much. But Equihash right now is usually the most profitable algorithm for NVIDIA cards, which I usually mine Zencash, Zcash, and so forth for profitability and so forth. So it's going to be interesting to see how this affects those coins. I know that Bitcoin Gold did just announce that they will be forking to avoid this ASIC miner, which is pretty interesting.
Oh, good. Okay, I was curious about that. Do we know what they're going to be going with?
I do not know yet. I didn't read the full article. I had an interview with Bitcoin Gold pretty recently, and he just sent me a quick DM on Twitter saying, hey, I don't know if you saw this or not, but we actually have decided we are doing a hard fork. So I don't know if they have all the details ironed out yet, but that's what they are doing. And I also talked to Rob Viglione from Zen, and he says they have no finite plans yet, but they obviously think that keeping decentralization and organic growth for their ecosystem is what they want to do. They happen to be doing a hard fork the first week of July, because they're upgrading to super nodes on their network. So he said that could be a possibly good opportunity in timing if the developers could swing it to switch to a different algorithm or change things up as well, as I think these miners are supposed to be at the last week of June. So really they might only be on the network for a week if they can get that done. So we'll see.
That's cool, because that was like, I saw your interview with the Bitcoin Gold guys. That was really cool. I like that. Yeah, I wondered what they would be doing there, because that's why they forked away from SHA-256, was because of the ASICs and the centralization. So, I mean, that makes sense. I wasn't too sure what was going to be happening with I don't think Zcash are wanting to change, which is kind of interesting.
Zcash probably doesn't care because they get their 20% treasury fee regardless. I mean, they're probably like, whatever. We get our 20%. It is what it is. It's like, okay.
Yeah. That's kind of a tough one, right? Like, so, I mean, we're diverging a little bit here, but that's something that we've talked about with the foundation as well. Like, how do you keep something like that going when you're not making any money up front? Right? Like, so for Zcash, their foundation equivalent, whatever, gets 20%. Like, that's heaps. And then you've got, I think Dash do something similar and stuff like that. So even the Z Classic guys, Z Classic, Zencash.
Zencash, they are switching to, they're doing 10% treasury, 10% for super nodes, 10% for secure nodes, and then the remaining 70% for miners.
Right.
So they do 10% for treasury, so about half of Zcash, but then they also offer the two different node structures, and then it was Equihash algo. Hopefully they change it for decentralization purposes, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, because I saw that interview of yours with them as well, and I thought that was interesting, them talking about the way that they were going to do that. So at the moment for us, we don't actually have any kind of ongoing revenue stream. Why was I bringing that up? I don't remember. We were going somewhere, and then we got sidetracked on a sidetrack. Anyway, so this is the new miner, right? So like, it's going to be $2,000. Do you know how much a 1080 goes for, a GTX 1080 in the States?
Probably $600 or $700. $700 probably.
Okay, so it's give or take. It's about 3 times the price. So these down here, it says the hash rate. They're going to do 10,000 solutions a second.
That's like, I mean, what is that, like 15 or 20 1080s?
So my 1080s, I've got the 1080 FTW2 editions, and so they'll do between 500 and 550 sols a second. This is going to do 10,000. So one of these for $2,000 is going to be the same as 20 GTX 1080s. So it's going to be 3 times the price.
Whoa, crazy. And you're going to be just making GPU miners obsolete, essentially. I mean, and guys, I mean, that sounds like it could be a great deal, right? But the problem is, if you take the risk and all these coins switch algos, or maybe say half of them switch, so the difficulties on the remaining coins go super high, your profitability might not be that great, and you might have a really expensive paperweight sitting there on your hands.
Yeah. And so that's, I think, because we've had Monero, there was the Crypto Night one, so Monero have changed to be Crypto Night V7. And what else is there? There's a few other sort of coins that are similar, and some of them are keeping the older Crypto Night algo. There's all the forks now of Monero and stuff, but even then, I'm looking at it and I'm going, if you've ordered one of those, you're going to be pissed because originally they were like 12 grand for one of them, and then they dropped the price, and so it was like 3 grand or something. And yeah, like they could do something similar with this. It's 2 grand now. Who knows what a week will be?
We were talking about this a little bit yesterday. I was talking to Kanan, the marketing guy from Vertcoin, and he was kind of talking about Bitmain, and he was saying, you know, it's kind of been proven that Bitmain runs these on the networks, and then once they create something better, they offload these to the public. So it's like you're getting a second edition ASIC that might be a paperweight. You don't know what coins you're going to be able to mine with.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Buy your own risk. Because at first when I saw it, I'm like, I'm about to get 2 grand out right now, buy one of these things. And that's a whole nother rig for my Zencash I'm trying to mine because I like Zencash. But then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, difficulty's probably going to increase. Hopefully they fork. What am I going to be mining? Hush and maybe Z Classic and hope for another Bitcoin fork pump? I don't know. So.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one because so let's say for this, let's say that Zencash and Z Classic or what is it, Bitcoin Private and stuff. Let's say they all move away, right? And they decide they're changing algos. Now all of a sudden, everybody who's gone and bought those additional ASICs to mine them is now going to be on Hush and they're going to be on Zcash.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, like, so the difficulty is going to go up because you're going to have the influx of, like, even the GPU miners alone going over that is going to be terrible, let alone the fact you've now got ASICs. So.
It'll be interesting. I'm just waiting and seeing. You know, obviously that's the one nice thing about GPU miners is I can mine any algorithm I want. With ASICs, they are created only for one algorithm. So I'm just going to kind of react based on the difficulties I see and try to get some good profitability and try to mine some coins that I like for the future. Hopefully you guys said you're tweaking some of your GPU mining algos. Maybe something will become a little more profitable and I can get on the DigiByte network here in the near future.
Yeah, so that's something, because you mentioned as well, so you were talking with the Vertcoin guys. The Vertcoin guys have been really cool with their algo and stuff. And so they've responded in the past with Lyra 2 RE, and they've made Lyra 2 RE version 2 to respond to network attacks and stuff, which is pretty cool. So we've seen the Vertcoin guys have basically said, we're keeping it GPU, we're keeping it distributed and stuff. And so that's one of the ones that we're looking at for DigiByte, because if there were something that would come out that would, let's say, affect it in some way, like an ASIC, like let's say Bitmain ASIC, it would affect them as well. And so they would probably also be incentivized. So in that respect, we're potentially piggybacking off of that algorithm a little bit. We were even looking at maybe, you could do some things with merge mining and stuff. We don't know. So we've got a lot of options open at the moment, and we're wanting to work on that for the decentralization. At the moment, Skeen is still ASIC mineable, but it's only about as productive as, like, I think it's 2.5 GTX 1080s. So it's not too bad.
Not 20 times.
Yeah, you're not, like, it's the same as a bunch of people. I think it costs twice what a 1080 would cost to buy the ASIC, and you get 2.5 or 3 times the hash power out of it. So yeah, it's efficient, but this Bitmain ASIC, it's not Bitmain, sorry, it's Baikal. You're actually just better off mining their Myriad Grostal or anything else with it rather than Skeen. So that's, yeah. So I mean, we've still got GPU mining for now, but it's definitely something that we've been well aware of that we're looking at. And I ran an impromptu Twitter poll, which was kind of interesting. I said, "What do you guys think? What, Crypto Night version 7 or Lyra 2 or Equihash like Zcash uses?" And then, like 3 or 4 days later, now
it's like, well, good thing you guys didn't implement Equihash, because you'd be doing all that development time for nothing.
Yep. And so, I mean, like, it's an interesting one, right? Because so let's say hypothetically we'd just gone through with it like a week ago. Then it's like, what do you do? Do you just kind of go, let's leave it like that for a little while? I think it was it Dash that did that with your X11 and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
They were like, we've got X11, we've got ASIC miners coming, but let's just leave it and
see what happens.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, I'd like to hope that we're kind of at the stage where we're seeing there's certain resistance to ASICs and things. Like, they have their place and they offer great security, but at the same time they encourage centralization. Oh, okay, here's a really good one. Here's something else for us to talk about. Are we decentralized yet? Have you been to this website?
I have not. Which website you pulling up?
Okay, so I'll do a screen share again. I really like this. This is nifty. Are we decentralized? So this basically, they talk about being decentralized and like ways that you could 51% attack a network, for example. So we've recently gone through and I filled out like all of the file needed to add us onto this. So they go through and they talk about a bunch of them. We've got like Dogecoin, Nano, Radiora, and the common ones. So Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's no Ethereum Classic? Yeah, there is. There it is. Okay. So this is really interesting. The number of entities in control of 50% of voting or mining power. So, or the number of entities you would need to collaborate together. So if you've got a mining pool, for example, and I've got a mining pool, for example, if the two of us collaborate and together we get 50% of it, then that's basically where you'll get like the 2 down here for Dash.
Wow.
So Bitcoin Cash is 3, Ethereum's 3.
Bitcoin's 3, Ripple's 1. I'm sure Zcash is probably only like 1, 2 with Flypool or whatever. Don't they have like 70% of the hash rate over there? That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. But people are like, yeah, screw it. I'm getting my mining. And it was interesting because for a little while I looked at that and it looked like they were paying out less than they were supposed to be as well, which was kind of interesting. But
guys, I'm going to throw this URL in the description below. I think this is a pretty cool website, one that you guys can kind of get some interesting data points on just to add it to your knowledge. I haven't really even looked through it yet, so I'm going to be doing that tonight as well. This is cool.
So if I bring this up, let me go 1 second. 2 monitors, so I'll be right back to you. We have... Where did it go? Here we go. Hash exclamation extraction. Right. Let's have a look at this one. I will copy this. Let's bring this up. So, are we decentralized yet? They talk about the number of entities that you would need to collaborate to have greater than 50% of the mining and voting power. So, if I bring this up for DigiByte, this is the Chain's crypto ID blockchain explorer. So on this one, we can see here we've got 26% of the last 100 blocks. It gets more interesting if you look at the last 1,000 blocks. It averages out a lot more, and they actually end up a bit less. But this is cool for just kind of an overview. And even this is a lot worse than it was when I submitted the document. But anyway, so they have 26%, they have 12%, they got 9, and they got 6. So between those 4, they've got over 50%. So when I did this a couple days ago, you needed to have 6 of them, all like 6 pools all collaborate to have that 50%. But it's interesting for us because this is just the last 100 blocks found, right? So this isn't even the hash power like the distribution because we've got 5 mining algorithms. Mm-hmm. And so part of it, what makes DigiByte really cool, I guess, and so I'm going to get back on the bandwagon here and just chill our stuff for a second, is that because we've got these 5 mining algorithms, even if you have 100% of all of the, let's say, Scrypt hash power, I did a talk about this on, again, my Medium post, where I talk about security versus security. And so Charlie Lee basically, like, he called us out why they're so much better. And so down here, if you want to read about it, security, you can read about, like, these are the hash rates for each of the Scrypt coins and things like that. And so I talk about how even if you have all, like, so we don't have a lot of hash power on us. So we've got 4 terahash right now. That's not a lot. Verge have 5, but then you come down and you have a look at these guys, Litecoin, they have 243 terahash.
A lot of ASICs.
That's a lot of hash power, right? But I talk about how even if we had Litecoin throw all the hash power at the DigiByte network, we don't care, right? Like, they can go for it because there's still the other 4 mining algorithms that are working there. And so DigiShield will basically even everything out. And so within about 2, maybe 3 blocks, like if they got 3 blocks, we would be surprised. I don't think we've ever seen a particular, like a pool or whatever, get 3 blocks in a row. It doesn't work that way. So for them to do a 51% attack of the network, they need all of, like, I think it's 91% of their primary attack vector. And then they need 51% of all the remaining. So if we've got, let's go DigiByte.
We would have to have like 51% of each separate
of all
algorithm.
Of the other ones. So if we go down, we've got a really cool little picture here. Where is it? Where's the picture? Here we go. So this is what they would need 51% of. Each of those, plus they'd need 93%, I think it is, of the remaining. So yeah, it's cool. It's even though that website was are we decentralized yet? It doesn't quite explain that.
Doesn't go down into that much detail. I guess
No. So even if you have the 5 or the 6 required for DigiByte, like if we're looking at that last 100 blocks, that still doesn't quite specifically mean that you're going to have enough to do a 51% attack on the network, because technically it's not. Yeah. So even Mining Pool Hub or the Blocks Factory, right? The Blocks Factory does a bunch of algorithms. They still need more than just like 1 or 2. They need all of them to ensure they can do it successfully. So it's really quite interesting, but this website is definitely cool, and it is a real eye-opener, right? If you had 3 mining pools come together, you've got enough to 51% attack the network. If you have China go offline, they lose, I think it's like 75% of their hash power. So it's a really cool website, and it is very idealistic, but it's worth being aware of.
Yeah, just kind of another data point, more knowledge that people can have on specific coins and what they're investing in, what they're using. And when people talk about centralization, this can kind of give you a better picture of what they're talking about based on the number of public nodes they have, how many people in the top 100 own the majority of the coins, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting here as well. So we've added DigiByte 2 days ago. A node on Litecoin's hash rate. Yeah, have a read of that. That's quite funny. Yeah, okay. Let's.
The competition between DigiByte and Litecoin heats up even more here on Learn Crypto. I need to be like, yeah, guys, we're gonna have a hangout session, and then have you and Charlie Lee just happen to pop into Zoom at the same time. Be like, time.
It's funny, right? Like, so I obviously, like, I talk a lot of smack, but I have a lot of respect, obviously, for what he's done. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not a fan of Litecoin, and I think a lot of yeah. Don't get me started, man. You're winding me up.
Yeah. No, but all right. Well, we've been on here a little while. Anything else we kind of wanted to talk about that's been going on in the crypto ecosystem, or what do we got? Anything else? Is there any other crazy stuff that's happened recently that you're just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wake up most mornings and I roll over and I check my phone while I'm still like half asleep in bed. And so if you ever see me cranky on Twitter or whatever, that's probably why. But most mornings I roll over and I look at them like.
Well, let's see if you remember at this time. What is the YouTube channel that you do some podcasts pertaining to DigiByte on? Do you know the name of your channel this time around?
My channel.
Yes.
Yeah, my channel is. It turns out it's just my name.
There you go. So if you want to watch Josiah Spackman, he does some talks over there about DigiByte and kind of hanging out like this as well. But he does them live for you guys to be able to interact with him. So go check.
Yeah, so we'll do one tomorrow, which will be cool.
There you go. Check out his name. Check it out. I might tune in there from time to time in the chat box as well, so I might see you guys over there.
Yeah, man. Maybe we should get you on my channel for a change one day as well. We'll bring you on and we can interview you about like what it's like running a YouTube channel and stuff, and that could be cool.
Cool. Let us know, because we also have the learncrypto.io, so we're also running a business with the Crypto Private Client Group, and we have the courses where we try to teach people how to trade. We're about to drop a software, so like a trading tool. And then the YouTube thing is really just like an educational platform is what we really try to do. You know, we give our opinions and we laugh and have fun, but really we're just trying to educate people in the space so they make the proper decisions with their money, with what they're supporting, and with how they're interacting with blockchain and cryptos. We don't like to see people lose their money or get scammed or any of that. So that's really all we're trying to do.
Yeah, so if you're on YouTube, look up Josiah DigiByte. I'm pretty sure I come up. And yeah, we'll do that. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow. We've got one of the other guys who's been working with the foundation and things, and we're basically gonna, I guess, just spitball a few things sort of similar to this. But yeah, tune in, man. Hey, it'd be great to see you, and thank you again for having me on your show. It's been a pleasure as always.
No problem. Well, yeah, I'll tune in and we'll figure out how I can get over there, and hopefully some of the community will watch that video as well.
Yeah,
that's about it, guys. I guess hit that like button, share button, and subscribe. If you like when me and Josiah just BS about whatever and just have some fun, something a little different, let us know. We'll continue to do it on this channel and maybe over on Josiah's channel as well. and just continue to have fun with crypto, because regardless, everybody's here for the investment, the speculation, and really the decentralization hopefully we can create in monetary policy. But you just got to have fun doing what you're doing, guys. You don't want to be stressed every day, all day. You got to relax sometimes and understand what's going on is bigger than just you. You know, it's a whole community thing. All right, guys, I'll see you later.